Good morning. Welcome to class 11. As we have just studied class 10, naturally the level of syllabus, the level of study material is quite large in class 11 and 12 onwards. Why? Because up till class 10 the syllabus is very less. Now it is quite large. Anyhow, we have to cope up with this, but I am 100% sure that once you enjoy the class, then you will definitely feel that it is no longer it is very difficult, but rather it is very simple and very interesting. Physics, it is part of science. What is science? Science is in fact a very systematic and very analytical knowledge of natural phenomena which we observe in our surroundings. That means we may rather say that whatever is held, whether some rainy season is there, whether somewhere we feel hot, somewhere we feel cold, somewhere we see that it is very large, somewhere we see very small, everything, they are all concerned with our nature, and that is our science. And physical science, that is physics, that we have to study. Physics, it's in fact is that branch of science which deals with the measurements, which deals with the space, which deals with the time, energy, etc. Okay, now as we continue with this, there are many scientific achievements in India or around the world. Most of the contribution in modern physics, they have been made from UK, that is England, and also from various other countries. And most popular scientists, Newton, Isaac Newton, we know that Albert Einstein, Michael Faraday, they are very common name in physics. Okay, and Indian version, if we consider the who are very popular, then naturally it is C.V. Raman, J.C. Bose, S.N. Bose, Meghnad Shah, etc., etc. There are many other also, like in modern day it is APJ Abdul Kalam. Okay, Subramanian Chandrasekhar, there are many other scientists, Avas Mitra, H.C. Verma, there are many physicists are there in the entire world of physics. We will not study the history of science, we will not study all other things because they are all given in the first chapter of the book. Even you can see some supplementary notes there, you can observe something about the importance of science there. Let us study our chapter with the measurement and units. What is the need of measurement? What is the importance of measurement? It is very simple. Whenever we see an object, suppose this is the pen, okay, we know, we may approximately say it is of this much of centimeter. How we measure? We use a plastic scale and then measure it, okay. That scale is an instrument, remember, by which we can measure this. If we want to see what is the time, it is another instrument, that is watch, wristwatch. If we put ourselves in a weighing machine, then we can also get our weight, etc., etc. There are many such things, many instruments are there, many things are there by means of which we can measure something. That is, measurement is very, very important role to play. And if we measure something, then we have to know the exact physical quantity we are measuring. And therefore, what are the physical quantities we have to discuss? There are basically two types of physical quantities. One is our fundamental quantity, other is our derived quantities. First we discuss fundamental quantities. As the name implies, that fundamental quantities are those which are independent of other physical quantities. That is, they themselves are fundamental in nature. That is, they are those physical quantities which are not derived in terms of other quantities, but rather they themselves are independent. Okay, there are only few physical quantities are there which are independent in nature, and they are called as fundamental quantities. Okay, and the how we represent a quantity. If we measure something, we need say 20 centimeter, 20 gram, 30 gram, like this, 60 second. we always take two things. One is a numeric value, other is our unit. There were two things are there. Numeric value जो नंबर में दिया रहता है 5, 6, 25 ये सब जो लिखा 25, 26, 30 एक्सेट्रा, these are numeric values. एंड उसके साथ साथ जो लगा रहता है उसको यूनिट कहते हैं. दैट मीन्स वी कॉल 20 मीटर. 20 is the numeric value and meter is the unit. Okay. That means when we measure something, we not only know the thing about the quantity, but also we know about the unit. Therefore, fundamental quantities, all the units related to fundamental quantities are called fundamental units. Clear? By means of various research and various things, various discoveries, various study, it has been found that only 7 quantities are those which are considered as independent quantities, and they are fundamental quantities, and their corresponding units are fundamental units. Let me have a table, serial number, fundamental quantities, or quantity we write, fundamental unit, symbol of such unit. First we take length. Okay, and the length is denoted by L. It may be the symbol of this quantity, and its unit is meter, and here we write it with small m. The symbol of meter is small m. Next is mass. It is denoted by small m again, like this. Here also it is denoted by this or capital M sometimes even. Its mass is kilogram. Okay. Third one is say time, and this is your. It is sometimes written by small t, capital D. Anything can be there, and its unit is second. It is denoted by this small s. Fourth one is temperature. It is a thermodynamic quantity by which we can determine the degree of hotness or coldness of a body. Okay, temperature. It is also denoted by capital T, sometimes theta, whatever be its thing. Sometimes we write it with theta. Okay, and then its unit is your Kelvin, and it is denoted by capital K. Next is electric current. It is denoted by small I or capital I, and it is ampere. The unit is ampere, and it is denoted by capital A. Next one is say luminous intensity. Luminous intensity. It is denoted by capital I, and here it is written as candela, and we write with small d, small d. Last one of this series is amount of matter. Amount of matter is mole, and we write mole. These are the different fundamental quantities and their corresponding fundamental units. Okay, And before we know that what are the fundamental quantities, very clear, those physical quantities which are independent and by which cannot be derived in terms of other physical quantities. Very simple. Okay. And all such units whichever we are discussing, they are parts of our SI units. We will discuss after discussing derived units what is SI system is. Okay. Next one is supplementary. Okay, supplementary units or supplementary quantities. What we write, like angle, arc upon radius, it is supplementary quantity. Solid angle, this or this omega, it is area upon square of perpendicular distance. Let me have the figure like this. This is the angle theta and this is L, length of R, this is this, therefore this could be equal to L upon R. And as far as solid angle is concerned, this is common point and this is a surface, circular or rectangular, whatever it be. Its area is S, its perpendicular distance from this point is R, then solid angle equal to S upon R square. Unit is degree or radian, and unit of solid angle is steradian. Clear? We have seen two supplementary units also. We have seen, and there we observe that there are two things. One is theta, that is angle; other is omega, that is solid angle. Okay, and after this we move to derived quantities. We move to derived quantities. Okay. In the derived quantities, what we have, in our day-to-day physics and day-to-day research, every day we discover new physical quantities by means of experiments or by means of any other observations, and therefore there is no limit of the term derived quantities. What is derived quantity? A derived quantity is that quantity which can be derived in terms of fundamental quantities. Okay, that means it may have two or more than two fundamental quantities come to make a single quantity. That quantity is called derived quantity. That if anybody asks you what is derived quantity, a derived quantity is that physical quantity which can be derived in terms of fundamental quantities or independent quantities. Clear? Many example. Area, length into breadth, both are length. That is in terms of length we have to discover it. If we write speed means distance travel upon time. Speed is length, the distance is length, and the time is time. That means again we have the combination of two quantities to express one single quantity, speed. Similarly, we have momentum. Many things. Momentum means P equal to m into v. mass into velocity. Mass is a physical quantity, this is a fundamental quantity, and this is also distance upon time, displacement upon time. This is length and this is time. All the three physical quantities are there in the explanation of mass, in the explanation of this momentum P. And in the same way we discover, we can discuss energy, we can discuss pressure, we can discuss power. All the physical quantities are related to other physical quantities. That means all such physical quantities are expressed in terms of other physical quantities, okay, and they are called as derived quantities, and corresponding units will be taken in terms of all fundamental quantities. Like unit of this momentum will be kilogram meter per second. Unit of our energy will be unit of energy will be your kilogram meter square per second square. In general we call it a common name joule. And in the same way force, mass into acceleration, then we take the common name as Newton. The common name of the unit is Newton, etc., etc. There are many such things which we call as derived quantities. We have seen there are two things. One is our fundamental quantity, other is our derived quantities. Okay. Now, after knowing physical quantities, which is fundamental, which is derived, we must know something about the system of unit. System of units. Number one is a CGS system. Number two, FPS. Number three, MKS. And number four, SI system. Okay. Now I just tell you that how these terms are there. You know always that when we take out the first three quantities of fundamental quantities list, we always take length. Length is measured, if length is measured in centimeter, mass in gram and time in second, it is CGS quantity. If we take length in foot and this mass in pound and time in second, then it is FPS quantity. If we take length in meter, mass in kilogram and time in second, it is MKS system. And last, it is SI system. SI system means International System of Units. Okay, and we call it as System internationally. The units. This is the French version of International System of Units. What we call System Internationale the Units. Okay, this is the French version of International System of Units. This is in fact an extension of MKS system or metric system. Definitely, it is an extension of MKS system or metric system. That means its extension is made to the SI system. And all the modern day physics we rely only on this SI system. This is obsolete. This we use sometime. In most of the cases, MKS is the same as SI system. But SI system is the most important unit of system of units with which we deal with our day-to-day physics. Okay. Now, before we do further, let me have one thing that how we measure the things. That means out of the three things, that is length, mass, and time. Length has various parameters, very smaller parameters, subatomic to subnuclear parameter to very big, large distance, astronomical distance, etc. And therefore, they from very small to very large system of units. And the same way, we may have very large units, various type of categorization, like some units less than meter, some units greater than meter. They are all given in the book, all given in the chapter. No need to give them separately here. That is, suppose we write centimeter, millimeter, okay, micron, in some they are less than meter. Okay. If we write hectometer, if we write kilometer, decameter, they are all greater than meter. And these are the common things. Okay? In previous classes also we have studied all such things. I am not going to repeat the same thing. But some units are there which are very, very specific. Very, very specific. And those units may be, say, astronomical unit. Astronomical unit, it is in fact, when we call astronomical unit, it is the average distance, it is the average distance between the sun and the earth. Okay, and its value is always around 1.49 into 10 to the power 11 meter. Okay, astronomical is very big one. And next is light year. Okay, next is light year, and its unit is equal to 9.46 into 10 to the power 15 meter. It is the average distance traveled by light or sun in 1 year. Okay, on calendar year. This is that one. And similarly is parsec. It is 3.06 into 10 to the power 16 meter. It is perhaps the largest possible distance which we have in our day-to-day life. That is the largest possible distance is your parsec. 1 parsec is this much. 1 light year is this much. 1 astronomical distance. They are all larger distances. Okay. Astronomical distance 1.496 10 to the power 11, or sometimes 1.49, or just 1.5 into 10 to the power 11 meter. Okay. And second one is your light year, 9.46 into 10 to the power 15 meter. And third one is parsec. That is parsec. It is parsec, not parsec. It is just parsec. And PARSEC. And 3.06 into 10 to the power 16 meter. Similarly, if we have less quantities, if we have very, very less quantities, then we have Fermi. These are the thing large. If we have smaller thing, then we have Fermi. 1 Fermi equal to 10 to the power minus 15 meter. Angstrom equal to 10 to the power minus 10 meter. 1 nanometer 10 to the power minus 9 meter. 1 micron 10 to the power minus 6 meter, etc., etc. These are small quantities, and this is the big quantity. Clear? We have two types of physical quantities. One is very small, other is very large. There are many types of measurements also. Something can be determined by means of only database like the astronomical units, etc. But in our older periods, we used to have some other known method. That is, one of such method was parallax method. What is parallax method? Parallax method was the method which was used to determine the distance, approximate distance of a star or planet, even moon, from Earth. Okay, and there how we determine that parallax method. These are 2 points on the Earth, and this is the star, and the average distance between them is d, and this is capital D that we have to determine. If we just try to measure the angle from this point to that star and from another point to that star, then that angle comes out to be, say, theta. Okay, and then angle equal to arc upon area. Arc is d, distance between two positions. I was standing over here, and then I was standing over here. There are two positions of my, this is A and B. And distance is not changed because distance is very large, okay? With respect to this distance, D upon capital D, then capital D must be equal to small d by theta, by which we can also measure the approximate distance from the earth to a star or moon or any planets outside the earth, okay? These are various things by which we can approximately measure, and for smaller thing we can estimate by means of calculation, by means of microscope, even electron microscope. We can measure smaller thing in subatomic parts and subnuclear parts or even bacterial parts. We all measure by this. Therefore, these are the few things which we have studied today. They are parts of different types of measurements of length. Okay. And next, in my next lecture, we will discuss some other physical quantities like mass and time, etc., along with the estimation of errors and significant figures. Thank you.